Logistics, the silent weapon that decides wars. Amateurs talk tactics, professionals talk logistics. It's one of the most quoted sayings in military history, and for good reason. Because when the first missiles are fired, when fighter jets fill the sky, when social media explodes with videos of explosions and intercepted drones, most people are watching the battle. Military planners are watching something else. They're watching fuel, they're watching ammunition, they're watching spare parts. They're watching cargo aircraft, oil tankers, warehouses, ports, and supply routes, because wars are not won by the side that fires the first shot. They're won by the side that can keep firing 6 months later. Logistics is the invisible battlefield. It rarely appears on television, it doesn't make headlines. But without it, every military from ancient Rome to today's superpowers eventually stops fighting. Every missile launched begins its journey years before it reaches its target. It starts in a factory. It travels through suppliers, raw materials become components, components become weapons, weapons are transported to storage facilities, then to military bases. Then loaded onto aircraft, ships, or launchers. Thousands of people touch that missile before a single soldier presses the launch button. Modern warfare isn't just about weapons, it's about systems. And every system depends on logistics. Nowhere is this more evident than in the strategic competition between the United States and Iran. On paper, the military balance looks almost one-sided. The United States possesses unmatched global power projection, carrier strike groups, strategic bombers, stealth aircraft, a worldwide logistics network. Military bases stretching from the Mediterranean to the Arabian Gulf, massive sealift capabilities, an industrial base capable of supporting sustained military operations. It's an extraordinary machine, but even extraordinary machines have vulnerabilities, because projecting power is expensive. Every fighter sortie burns thousands of pounds of fuel. Every interceptor missile costs hundreds of thousands or even millions of dollars. Every deployed soldier requires food, water, medical support, communications, transportation, maintenance, and constant resupply. Power isn't measured by how much force you can generate. It's measured by how long you can sustain it. Iran understands this. Its military strategy has never been built around defeating the United States in a conventional war. Instead, it focuses on creating friction, increasing costs, stretching supply lines, complicating decision-making, threatening maritime traffic through the Strait of Hormuz. Using drones that are inexpensive to produce but expensive to intercept, employing ballistic missiles to place regional military bases under constant pressure. Supporting regional partners and proxy forces that force American planners to divide resources across multiple fronts. This isn't necessarily about winning battles. It's about changing the economics of conflict, because logistics has become a war of mathematics. If one side spends $2 million intercepting a drone that cost $20,000 to build, who is really paying the higher price? Now here's where OSINT changes everything. For decades, military logistics was largely invisible. Today, much of it happens in plain sight. Commercial satellites photograph military bases every day. AIS data follows commercial shipping around the globe. Flight tracking websites monitor strategic airlift aircraft. Construction permits reveal expanding fuel depots. Industrial contracts hint at increased weapons production. None of these pieces tells the entire story, but together, they reveal the machinery behind military power. Sometimes, logistics tells us more than official statements ever could. Imagine seeing dozens of cargo aircraft suddenly arriving at regional air bases, fuel storage rapidly expanding, prepositioned equipment increasing, engineering units moving into theater. None of these actions means war is inevitable, but they often indicate preparation, and preparation is everything. History repeatedly proves this lesson. Napoleon's Grand Armée didn't collapse because it lacked courage, it collapsed because logistics failed. Germany's invasion of the Soviet Union stalled not simply because of Soviet resistance, but because supply lines became impossibly long. During Operation Desert Storm, coalition forces spent months building one of the largest logistical operations in modern history before launching the offensive. The battlefield was prepared long before the shooting started. The same principle applies today. Whether the conflict is in Ukraine, the Red Sea, or the Persian Gulf, industrial capacity matters. Manufacturing matters, shipping matters, maintenance matters, supply chains matter. Even artificial intelligence and autonomous drones cannot escape this reality. Can you sustain it? This is why logistics remains the most underestimated form of military power. It isn't glamorous, it isn't dramatic, but it decides outcomes. So the next time tensions rise between Iran and the United States, don't just watch the missiles, watch the ports, watch the cargo aircraft, watch the oil tankers, watch the rail lines. Watch the warehouses because before armies move, logistics moves first, and long after politicians stop making speeches, logistics will determine who still has the ability to fight. The history of war teaches us one lesson over and over again. Battles capture headlines, logistics writes history.